Get the party started.
All right, in this video, we are going to be adding Nginx as a front end to our Node application, which is running on port 3000. And we're going to be setting it up as a load balancer. So as our application grows and grows and grows, we can add a second, third, fourth server, and it will load balance between the four. And then we're also setting it up to where it will cache some static assets to increase performance. So I've got my application server. We'll call this the .2 box. The .2 box is running on port 3000 like a normal Node application would. You can see as I load requests, they're coming through. I'm SSH'd in over here so you can see it. And here's a .4 box. You can install Nginx on the same box if you don't think your application's going to grow. But I already know I'm planning on multiple boxes to come, so I'm going to install Nginx on its own box, to better handle the load. So the .4 box currently does nothing. This is where the domain will resolve, is to this IP address. And I'm SSH'd into the .4 box. Let's go ahead and get Nginx set up. The first thing you're going to want to do is sudo apt get updates, which I've already ran. I don't need to do that. So then you're going to go sudo apt get install Nginx, which I've already done. It says it's at the newest version. So now Nginx is installed. You can go cd/etc/host, not slash hosts, /nginx. And then you can see here's my Nginx. I've got a default Nginx configuration file. Let's take a look at that. Let's vim and look at this guy. You can see by default it started 4 worker processes. You're going to want, kind of as a rule, 1 worker process per CPU that you're running. That's kind of the most efficient way to run Nginx. It's running 768 connections and all this other stuff. And as you can see, let's scroll down here. These are all decent things to look into to get to know what they are. But what it's doing is it's also including any file in the sites enabled directory. So that's where we're going to add our specific configuration. So let's go into the sites enabled folder, and then there might be a default file in here. If not, you're going to want to create it. Defaults. Let's go ahead and create that. I'm going to go over here. Here's the gist that I've created for you with the code that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to copy the upstream project. Let's paste that. And I'm also going to copy the first portion of the server. And I'm going to wrap that out. So what I've done here is I've got 3 nodes. I've got my .2 node, my .3 node, and my .5 node. Let's go ahead and comment out the other 2. And save my file. What I'm also going to be doing, here's the actual server that's going on, is I'm listening to port 80, which is your default port for your URL. And then I'm going to be forwarding that on to project, which is up here. And so any nodes I add will automatically get load balanced. Let's save this. And then let's go sudo service nginx start. There we go, starting Nginx, and now I should be able to refresh, and it's automatically forwarding it to the .2 server. You see as I load this, then the requests are coming through to the .2 server. Awesome, let's say the load has increased, and we should now add some nodes. I've got some more nodes going on here. Let me drag one over here for now. Let's go ahead. So we're getting a lot of traffic constantly. We don't ever want to have to shut down Nginx. Let's go back into our default file. Let's uncomment these 2 servers, save and quit. Nothing has changed. If you notice, I'm loading these. It's still, all the requests are going through to my .2 server. It's because I have to reload, not restart, reload Nginx. So I'm going to go sudo service nginx reload. That's going to keep it going. It's going to reload the configuration file. And now let me go ahead and minimize you, bring you over here. All my requests are now getting load balanced between all 3 boxes, which is awesome. Now let's have some fun and do some bench testing, shall we? Let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn those back off. Turn you off, save, and reload. Okay, let's run some bench testing here. Let's run an Apache bench, pretty basic. I'm going to run 40 concurrent requests, going to run 1,000 requests, and we're going to hit the .4 server, which is all going to be coming through here right now. Running 100, 200, 300, 1,000 requests. You can see that took about 5.5 seconds to complete. Let's go ahead and go back into defaults, add my load balancing here, reload my configuration file, and let's start seeing this fly. I'm going to make you take up a little different space here. There we go. Let's run that exact same benchmarking now. You can see the requests are flying through all of them, and that's going way faster. Instead of 5 seconds, that took about 3 seconds to run. Great. Let's go ahead and add some static caching now. I'm going to edit my default file again, and let's cache static assets, which is this little piece of code right here. We're basically going to take anything CSS, JS, PNG, any images, and we're going to cache them. They're not going to reload to Express for 168 hours. So let's go ahead and add this in. There we go. Let's reload that service. And now let's go ahead and bench test style sheets. I think that's style sheets style.css. I believe that's it. Let's go ahead and bench test that guy. There we go. So that flew through, as you can see, almost no time whatsoever. Complete request. Let's give that a bench actually before I'm kind of static caching that. Let me edit my default here. And let's go ahead and comment this whole thing out. I didn't give you a chance to see what it does without it. Let's save. Let's reload. There we go. You can see the style sheets are all coming through here. Our requests are coming in at a rate of 20 milliseconds to 194 milliseconds. That took about 1.3 seconds. Let me edit that again. Reload. Boom, that took almost no time at all. We went down from 20 milliseconds to about 4 milliseconds, which the highest is still around 210, but that went down to 0.3 seconds. So as you can see, static caching your assets with Nginx is way faster than serving them up with Express. So that's kind of a little bit of fun with Nginx. You can cache, as I think I gave you some examples of how to cache some different, you can cache specific API URLs, which is nice to cut down the load on your servers. Have some fun with that, and have a great day.